it was hard to look at myself in the mirror after Wrestle Kingdom 13, after making this company worldwide, really bringing it to the forefront, and not recognizing who was looking back. And here I was thinking I was the hero. I was the one who saved this company. I was the one to take it to the promised land. I was going to main event Madison Square Garden and show everyone in the world the magic, the prestige of strong style pro wrestling. It wasn't meant to be, it wasn't in the cards. And I think the part that hurt the most was that after I had lost, I had seen tears in the eyes of everyone in attendance. And I thought, I know how you feel. This hurts for me too. This is painful. And it looked harder. Those were tears of joy. These people were happy to see me lose. They were happy to see the belt move on to Tanahashi. That's when I realized they didn't really understand the vision. Maybe they just weren't ready yet. So I thought, yeah, now's a good time to disappear. Now is a good time for this company to know the true meaning of loss.
Can you sum up what the last 3 years have meant for your career and the place in the wrestling world?
We always hear like, you're the best in the world. Greatest matches of all time. Maybe someone else is the best in the world to somebody else. But to me, to truly be the best, you have to be the master of all styles. And the one thing I'd never done, I'd never challenged North American professional wrestling. Not wholeheartedly anyway. And I thought, for all you people that think I'm the best now, for all you people that think I'm talented now, just you wait. Because I'm gonna kill it in America. I'm gonna show everyone exactly why they call me the best bout machine. I'm gonna show you exactly why I'm the guy that was able to take small promotions and make them global. And I'm the guy who's gonna make an upstart promotion that no one knew ever existed to being the greatest competition to the greatest wrestling promotion that we've ever seen in America for the past 50, 60, 70 years.
What are your thoughts about New Japan in your absence?
I mean, it's hard, man. I mean, I don't know if anyone here watching has children or pets. You ever raise a child or a pet? Sometimes they'll do something that you're not proud of. They'll do something that you'll get angry at. Maybe a doggy takes a poopy on your floor. Maybe your child gets detention at school, gets suspended for fighting. Maybe he says something a little uncouth. See, for me, New Japan kind of became that child that I was ashamed of. I didn't want to talk about New Japan to other people. I wanted to go back to those days when New Japan was at its infantile stages of creeping over into the West. Under my helm, of course. With me as the captain, it was sure to succeed. But after seeing the way that Will has led the ship, I started to become disgusted. And I didn't quite understand why. Why are you backing him, New Japan? And I get it. It's just because you had no one else. Until now.
What were your first thoughts on Will Ospreay when he came into New Japan in 2016? And have those impressions changed? Have you always felt the same way about him?
I mean, how did I feel about Will Ospreay when he first arrived in New Japan? He was just like everybody else. There are so many guys like him that can do all these wonderful flips and tricks. And, it's fun to watch them practice. It's fun to watch their matches. But did I ever really feel anything for Will Ospreay? Not so much. And then when I placed the responsibility of filling my shoes on his shoulders, I started to see him take things a little more seriously. It wasn't about him having fun in the ring, it was about him getting the job done. For that, I'm proud of you, Will. But the thing is, filling my shoes isn't just something that anybody can do. Just because I task you of filling them doesn't mean that you can. Just because you have every tool ever in a tool chest of wrestling doesn't mean that you can do what I did. There are so many moving parts, there are so many things. The caramel secret to what Kenny Omega does is something that Will can't understand. It's what no one understands. So in a way, I feel bad. I feel like I even owe Will an apology. I've tasked you with the impossible. So how do I feel about Will now? Well, I pity him. I pity him for going off on a fool's errand and trying to convince everybody that he is me. Actually, let me take that back. He's not trying to convince people that he is me. He's trying to convince people that he was better than me. And, well, I'll leave the viewers at home to decide how well he's done.
It seems like he pursued Okada in the same way that you did through 2017 and 2018. Mm-hmm. Why do you think it is that you succeeded where he has not?
So I'm starting to hear all these stories about I want to do what Kenny did. I want to attempt to live the lifestyle that Kenny lived. I first heard that with Mox back in AEW when we started. He said, I want to live a month in Kenny's shoes. I want to try G1. I want to see what's so tough about it. How did that go for you, pal? Didn't even make top 4. Certainly didn't make the finals, and certainly did not win the tournament on his first effort like I did. Will, of course, thinking that that's a good approach, thinking that maybe he's going to be the exception to the rule, thinks that maybe he can do it the way that Mox could not, thinking that he could do it the way that Jay could not, thinking that he could do it the way that I did. The G1 was a miss. Okada didn't go so well either. So why is it that no one can do what I can do? Well, there's so many reasons, but I mean, the big one, Will, it's up here. It's what you don't got upstairs. I'm not going to credit it to your athletic ability. You have oodles of that. Experience, yeah, experience plays a factor, but when you have so much ability, you can push past that. What you lack, Will, is your mind. You're unstable. You're unintelligent. That's why you fail.
In your video message, I think you just covered this just now, but in your video message, you talked about showing what separates Kenny Omega from a Will Ospreay. Can you put into words exactly what that is?
Sure. I mean, what separates Kenny Omega from everybody? It's that je ne sais quoi. I can't even put it in my own words what it is that makes me so much different than everybody else. Perhaps what it is, though, is that I'm not ever trying to emulate somebody. I'm not trying to be the next anybody. I'm trying to be the first me. I feel that Will Ospreay has been kind of shoehorned into an area, into a position where he feels like he needs to be me. He feels like he needs to make the merchandise sales like I did. He feels like he needs to sell the tickets like I did. He feels like he needs to move sponsorships like I did, to break out worldwide like I did. He could never do it, so he went about it in a different way, and it's the only way he knew how, and that was by doing death-defying stunts on very small-scale independent wrestling shows. But in the grand scale of things, that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you, Will. It doesn't help New Japan. It doesn't help the world of professional wrestling. All it helps are your friends in the UK that have these small little operations with small crowds, with wrestlers that aren't ready to make the big time. And sure, it's great for them. Look, I've wrestled for these guys too. I'm happy for them too. So in a way, I'm proud of it, Will. I'm proud of your accomplishments. I'm proud of what you've done. Because we could confuse that a little bit about you being a nice guy and not forgetting where you came from. But that's not what it is. that was you, Will, realizing that on the big stage, you lack something that I have. Aura, star power, a body chiseled out of granite. The ability to talk to people around the world, not just my own people here in North America, not just to your people in the UK, but I can talk to your home crowd in Japan. Something that you've never done, something that you can never do. And if it weren't for Google Translate, it's something that none of you foreigners would be able to do. And you don't feel any shame about that, do you? You'll let technology and you'll let someone else do something for you every step of the way. So what makes us so different? Well, I carved my own path through my own hard work. You took the easy way out, and you always lent on other people to bail you out when you couldn't make your mark.
But let's not forget, so this is for the United States Championship, right?
That's right.
What would you do if you should win?
So a lot of people don't understand what exactly that belt means to me. They think maybe it's just another prize, another list of accomplishments for Kenny Omega. No. I was the first ever US champion. The matches that I had on American soil for New Japan Pro Wrestling, they'll be revered as some of the greatest of all time. And what you have to remember, Will, is though you carry that belt, and though you've defended it around the world, and you've done a great job as a champion, what you're carrying is essentially something that was never meant for you. That belt, that gold, it was forged for me. There was never a thought of Will Ospreay, not 1 ounce of Will Ospreay that went into the care and the passion and the artistry of that belt. Everything about that belt was meant for me. Every defense that I made, memorable. The time when I won that belt, unforgettable. What have you done that people haven't forgotten? What have you done that's been legendary? As far as I'm concerned, that belt's on loan. I've lent you my property, and now it's time just to give it back to the rightful owner. That belt, sure, it's not the AEW Heavyweight Championship belt, it's not the IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt, it's not the Trios belts that I'm currently involved in trying to win back. But rest assured, Will, a belt that the most prestigious wrestling company in the world made just for you? Yeah, that means a lot to me. And if you're not just gonna mail it back, like a nice old bloke, I'm gonna have to take it back by force.
Kenny, what do you want your return in the Tokyo Dome to mean for New Japan Pro Wrestling, for AEW, and for yourself?
I think I've already made a big enough statement. My return to the Tokyo Dome is supposed to be astronomical, monumental. Now I've understood there have been tough times. And we've all had them in our lives. This is supposed to be a celebration, a real homecoming. For all of you fans, wrestlers that have struggled for so long throughout this difficult time. I understand that you guys have been dealing with this for years now. I know what you're thinking, right? You're thinking we've struggled with the pandemic. No. The struggle that I'm talking about, it was the struggle that you guys have had to incur without having me running the ship, without having Kenny Omega running your show. There's been an absolute lack of charisma. There's been an absolute lack of match quality. There's been an absolute lack of eyeballs on the product. We need people watching, talking, discussing. We need New Japan parties again, guys. After years of hardship, what these people really need is resolution. They need a reason to cheer. They need a reason to be happy again. They need a reason to buy tickets and come to a show and have something to really, really look forward to. Kenny Omega holding the US Championship belt. Now that is a reason to buy a ticket. That is a reason to buy the magazines. That is a reason to watch the pay-per-views. That's even a reason to watch AEW TV live every week. You can watch it on Wednesday on the Fight Network. Or you could even wait till the New Japan friendly staff translates it for you guys and you have it in Japanese on New Japan World. But there's a shift coming. And unfortunately for you, Will, we're shifting away from this experimental project that was Will Ospreay. And you gave me your best shot, congratulations. I don't know what else you want from me. A pat on the back, a fruit basket. You did great. But it just wasn't good enough. And it was nothing compared to the real deal. I'm sorry, Will, but you're gonna have to move along. The king is coming back for the keys of the castle.
This is the last question. What final message do you have for Will Ospreay, and what final message do you have for the New Japan fans?
新日本のファンの皆様、心配事がよくわかりますよ。もしケニーが負けたらどうなるんだろう。この3年間の悪夢が終わらないんだろうと思ってるでしょ。大丈夫ですよ。心配しなくていい。もう目を覚ましていい。みんなの好きな時代、ケニアがチャンピオンだった時代が必ず帰ってくるから。So, Will, until next time, I must bid you adieu. It's coming up real soon. So, until then, goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang!
新日本プロレス50周年ファイナルダブルメインイベントジェイ・ホワイト VS 岡田和親ウィル・オスプレイ VS ケニー・オメガ 1.4 東京ドーム新日本プロレスワールドで生中